Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. If you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week is the Judgment card, right? So this is always that grand sort of completion. This card always precedes massive changes, and it very often highlights something from your past that needs to be assimilated. So when this card shows up, I often say to people, this is the blast from the past card. Right, so in some way, shape or form, whether this is an old friend, an ex, a colleague, you know, someone or something from your past is coming up, and usually it's very rare that it's meant for reconnection. Usually it's just for assimilation, to show you what you learned from that situation so that you can assimilate that and then move on forward. It also represents a grand change in some way, shape or form. It's not like the Tower where it comes in suddenly. Like, this is usually like the result of something that's been a long time coming, but it always says that whatever is changing is finite. There's no going back after this. So big change on the horizon. For your actions and options, you have the Empress card. So a big change in your environment, in your personal environment, something to do with your home, something to do with the area that you live in, very possibly. Another way that this could show up as well, this could be you changing something to do with your appearance or your image, how you present yourself to the world, how you present your work, your business, your literal physical self, because it's your actions and options, right? So this is all about what you're doing. There are big changes on that, you know, on all horizons or all fronts. Everything that is connected to you is basically going through a big shake-up or a big shift, but it's harmonized, right? It's blessed because it's the Empress. So I love this for you. For your communications and conversations, you have the Strength card. So we're 2 for 2 right now, right? So the Strength card, especially when it comes to communications and conversations, having the courage to say what needs to be said, having the courage to speak up on something that maybe you haven't wanted to. Maybe you have felt, oh, you know what, if I say that, it might be a bit of a deal breaker. Maybe there's something that you need to say to a friend or to a colleague, to an employee, to an employer. And it's going to see, because it's the Strength card, right? So you're having to dig deep for this. You do have to speak honestly and openly about whatever's coming up for you, but it really does, in a lot of ways, kind of, I don't know, I almost feel like it's like something that you've wanted or needed to say for a long time, and it's like you knew that it was going to upset the apple cart or that it was going to change the dynamic somehow. So this is you just kind of coming out and saying it, which I think is a good thing. When it comes to those of you that work for somebody else, this could literally be a boss or a colleague or a peer that you are having a conversation with. It might not be easy, but it is going to clear the air. And it also paves the way for the kind of change that you want in your life. Like, and this is the thing, I feel like these changes are being route across the board. If you want to be in front of these, if you want to be ahead of these, then, you know, you got to own that and you got to make it happen. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this could be with an employee. It could be with somebody that you work with, somebody that you collaborate with. It's not necessarily that you're having to set a boundary, but it does look like you're having to have a conversation that may not necessarily be easy. It might require a lot of courage from you to kind of, maybe now you have to backtrack, you know, maybe something's become too friendly. Maybe now you have to, you know, be a bit more clear or a bit more sort of boss-like, you know. Either which way, I think this is going to be fine. And I think if anything, it will enhance the experience that you are having across the board. And then when it comes to those of you that are retired, this is a change when it comes to your physical body. When it comes to your physical body, your physical health, maybe this is a new workout regime, maybe this is a new diet. Like, there's something here that you've been meaning to do for a long time on a physical note, because the Strength card can also represent like your literal physical body, and this is where you are addressing it, and it's kind of like those first steps on a very big or very long journey, and this is you really going for it. For your money and materials, you have your card, the Hermit card. So I love this, right? So far we're 3 for 3, so all major arcana at this point, which is really, really interesting. And you've got the 8 and then the 9. So, you know, all big stuff. This is a big week for you guys. It's a fated week in a lot of ways. The fact that you have the Hermit card, so when it comes to your money and your finances, this is you looking at your money, looking at your resources, and deciding that you can do, be, or have more. And this is you going after it. That's the thing with the Hermit card. Yes, it's quiet. Yes, it tends to be a bit more subdued, but it always, or rather he always, reaches his goal. He always reaches that point because he's following his own star. And the star in the lantern literally represents the star that is on the star card. So there's that idea that whatever I'm doing now is building that hope for the future. It's right underneath the Empress. If you're thinking about investing in land, if you're thinking about building, if you're thinking about anything to do with that kind of thing, this is a great week to really set those intentions forward. I think it would be great for you. But when it comes to money in general, this is you saying, right, okay, this is the next plan on the financial level. Set that idea, set that intention, set that tone, set that budget, whatever it is for you, because this week the power is with you, it's behind you. And then finally, for your physical health and vitality, this is your stomach, not your stomach, this is your digestive system, that whole sort of general area. And when we talk about this as well, because the Empress is in close proximity, I feel like this is something to do with your diet, especially because you've got the strength card there as well. There's a lot of real focus on the body, the bodily issues, not issues, but bodily matters, focus on what you eat, how you eat it. If you're thinking about growing your own food or creating your own food, this is a great week to really start, you know, figuring out how can I do this. If there's a change in diet coming up, which it does look like there is for a lot of you, this could be a really great week to initiate that. And then finally for your come on brain, home and environment itself, I mean, this is very much to the forefront. This is you really creating the space that you really want to have. This is you really creating the space that you really need, and finding more comfort and more peace there than you have in a long time. It does look like some of you might be looking for a new home though, which again, not necessarily a bad thing. And then for your love and relations, you've got the Two of Swords. For those of you that are single, listen to your intuition this week. I kind of feel like the heart and the head are going to be saying two different things this week, right? So the heart is going to be like, I think this might be my person. And the head's going to be like, I don't like them, let alone potentially love them. Right? Like there could be a sense this week where you're like, no, dude, I think we need to have a talk, honey, because this is not that person. You might be pleasantly surprised. You know, it's weird. It's like on an intuitive level, you know that the person that you're connecting with this week might be your person, and on maybe more practical or mind level, you're like, oh no. Just putting it out there. Another way that this could play out for you as well, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in relationships already, this could literally be you guys deciding, right? This is you making that final choice, making that final call on something. And I think this is a really good thing, especially because you've got the strength card above it, which means that whatever you're doing, you collectively know that this is going to be the final push. It's like we just have this last hurdle to get over. So the next 2 months, Two of Swords, might be a bit of a challenge, right? But it's going to be worth the challenges that you have, and even then, I mean, with a week like this with so many major cards, I don't think there's going to be many don't stop me now. You know, I don't think there's going to be a lot that's going to be able to hold you back. But yeah, this is the start of a 2-month period of growth. I really do feel that for you. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.